Hi everybody, my name is Henry Wong Doe. I'm grammar class of 1990, and I'm very pleased to be back here to do an interview with Headmaster's Heritage Committee member, Vishwas Iyer.
Hello, Henry. Thanks for coming today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we'll be talking just a bit about your time at grammar and then your career later on, and then just how you feel grammar has influenced you in your life. So to start off, why did you choose Auckland Grammar to attend?
Well, honestly, my father went to grammar and my uncles did too. And so my dad pretty much was like, you're going to grammar. He made the investment to buy a house in the grammar zone, like a lot of people did. And just like a lot of families have continued the tradition of going to grammar, my family was the same. So my dad, I didn't know any other school. There was no other option for me. So grammar was because he knew that the school would give his sons a quality education, and so it was just a place that he knew that we would thrive in. So
it's great to know. And so how did grammar support you during your tenure here in terms of the music side of it?
Well, I got a lot out of grammar in music wise, and not just from my own personal activities as a solo pianist. When I got here, I was very heavily involved in the ensembles, and so some of the great things that I got out of being here were playing different instruments and being part of ensembles, which the kind of experience you don't get when you're a solo pianist. And so like I said to you before, I played percussion in my third form, but I also had an interest in playing French horn, and I also played saxophone as well. So I played in a lot of different ensembles. I forged some really great friendships, and it was not only just a great time to be with musicians, but also to expand kind of my experience in different instruments. And so grammar was very supportive of that. We also had those band competitions too, even back when I was at school. And I think that whole desire to work towards a goal and to be able to play to the best of everybody's ability was a really great feeling to know that we were rehearsing and practicing to create, not to win, not just to win, but also to create really good music. I took a lot of that away from my time at grammar.
During your 5 years here, what was your favorite memory?
It's a really tough question to answer because there were so many great memories that I had. I definitely remembered one of my biggest fears was after I won the Minister's Plate the first time. I was only in my fifth form, and I was for the first time we were asked to play in front of assembly, and I was really nervous because how I could see in some scenarios how the mass of the assembly audience could turn on whoever was on stage, and so I played, and it was a really amazing feeling to know that people actually listened to me and respected what I did, and that I got that feeling from my peers. And that was a really awesome experience. And I think maybe the highlight of my time was I got selected to play as a student soloist during the prize giving ceremony at the end of the year. Do you guys still call it prize giving? Yeah, it's still called prize giving. Some things don't change. And that year was the year that the grammar main building was being renovated. So they had it in the town hall, in Auckland Town Hall. So that was very cool because not only did I get to play in front of all the grammar professors and students and parents, but I got to play in a town hall too. So that was really cool.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
So then leading on from Auckland Grammar, what inspired you to get into music as a full-time career?
Well, music has always been in my life. I can't imagine any moment in growing up without some sort of music activities. And I really enjoyed doing it when I was growing up. Practice wasn't a stress for me. I feel like practice now is more stressful than practice then. But I think I knew that I really wanted to make a career out of it because I literally didn't want to do anything else. And I knew that somehow I would want to make my life out of music. And I wanted to do this for the rest of my life in whatever capacity. And whether it be just performing or whether it be teaching and tutoring as well. So I knew at that point I wanted to do that because I didn't want to do anything else.
It was always just there in your heart.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Special place.
Yeah.
So then while you're getting ready for a performance, what goes through your head? What's your mentality?
That's a good question. I would be lying if sometimes I would be lying if I didn't get nervous. If I told you I didn't get nervous. But definitely I try my best to focus that energy into creating something special. Every performance, as you know, as being a musician, is a unique experience, not only for you, but also for the audience. And that you spend hours at the practice room trying to hone your craft for that very moment that's going to happen. And you can't plan for what's going to happen, but you can have in your mind what you want to achieve musically. And so what goes through my mind is basically the plan that I have, the goals that I have in a performance, how I want to create something, and I want to make sure it's very special. So a lot of those things go through my mind as I play. And funnily enough, the focus on aspects of what you want to do in your music usually transports me above being nervous in a way that hopefully channels the music making into something exciting and individual.
And in an interview some time ago, you mentioned that Carnegie Hall in New York is your absolute favorite place to play. Mm-hmm. Is it still?
Yes, very much so. And look, just being able to play in New York City itself is a real privilege. It's a great city for the arts. You know that anybody who goes to a concert there is going to be respecting and enjoying and everything that you do. Not to say that other audiences would too as well, but especially in New York, I feel that is a real mecca for musicians and music lovers. And the space itself is a very beautiful space. And just the feeling that so many other great artists have done the same thing before you is a really inspiring. It's really inspiring once you set foot on stage. So just knowing other people have been doing the same thing that you're about to do is a wonderful feeling.
It's a beautiful place. I've seen it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, you received the Lion Award.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about that? Really, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I'm really sorry that I couldn't be at the ceremony to receive it. I'm really glad that I could be here to talk to you and to visit Grammar and to thank the Old Boys Association for that award. It's a really huge honor that the Old Boys Association would recognize and Auckland Grammar would recognize a musician. And so I'm just very touched and honored to receive this award. And I thank the Old Boys Association and Grammar very much for this honor.
So to all the Auckland Grammar students, what key piece of advice do you have to share?
Well, I definitely would say follow your passion and your dream. Always have that focus in mind. And make sure that, there's always going to be challenges in the road to attaining whatever you want to attain. But enjoy the process of navigating your way through those challenges. Never lose sight of your goal and what you want to achieve. Don't be afraid to ask help from others. Obviously, you're going to learn from your mistakes, but also you should enjoy the process of getting through, because that in itself is what life is all about. And I think once you achieve where you want to be, it makes that feeling even greater, knowing that you've had to succeed through adversity.
And similarly to budding musicians like yourself, any advice for them who are looking to pursue a career in music and really get involved in that line?
Yeah, well, the first thing I would say, and I think a lot of you guys already know these as musicians, but just get involved as much as you can, because I think the life as a musician, when it unfolds, sometimes you're not always sure how it's going to unfold in terms of your career. Are you going to be focused more on performing? Are you going to be focused more on teaching? Are you going to be directing? All these things. So get involved as much as you can with all activities, even if it just means taking up a new instrument, just because you're curious. And for those of you who are focusing on a performing career, obviously work really hard in the practice room. There's something that you already know to do, but also really enjoy the experience of learning and honing your craft. And remember that every performance is a unique opportunity for you to express yourself. And so always have that in mind. Have the discipline in the practice room, but then on the stage, always remember that you're creating something unique and special, and always go for that and try to really bring out the individuality in you. So
it's amazing to know. Anyway, thank you very much for attending this interview.
Sure.
Good luck for your concert.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Grammar says thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.